Fun. Hello.
Hello and welcome back
Hello.
to Strange Hungers. That was a crispy one. That was a crunchy
Hello.
introduction.
Hello.
Last we left off, our intrepid leader Matthias departed from the expedition party to return a wayward, dead soul to rest. Without their leader, Kiara, Oash, Novel, Tazriel, and Vice talked about their plan going forward and determined they would not elect a new leader immediately, hoping for Matthias's return. They continued, hoping to meet him along their journey rather than waiting, traveling between smokestacks and pine forest through the frozen waste towards the Fierce Pass, which would take them onto the main continent of Valkyrie and towards the Order. As they traveled, different conversations being held about leadership, about, I would say, Vice and Tazriel's past. They came upon a strange farm of some kind, where workers were harvesting the black oil that is now becoming familiar to the party within the frozen wasteland. Met Esme, the leader, and rested, took lunch with that crew, until an unfortunate use of magic from Neve, who has been learning some cantrips, and Kiara, set off a reaction that caused a number of dark oozes to emerge from the oil refinery pits and be set upon the party. Without much injury, but with great loss of personal goods, they defeated these oozes and talked to the oil workers about a market that often happens within Fierce Pass at the refinery, where they might be able to restock some of their food, some of their warm clothing, and get their now bottomless cart repaired. Well, bottomless sled repaired. And then they set off, heading towards the refinery. But we do not return to the Fulcrum Expedition, but rather to the lone figure pushing his way through a blinding storm of white snow on the back of a massive skeletal beast. Matthias Markart. You lead your steed through the trees, and then as the wind picks up, the sound of talking fades behind you, and that chill passes over your skin. Not the chill of Valkyrie of the Frozen Wasteland you're accustomed to, but a sense of sublime quiet, of solitude, that is somehow colder in texture than any of the chill of the wastes. There's a deep sense within you that the place you are now is not familiar at all, and yet a call in the back of your mind is now silent. An urge that's been pushing you here has abated. You are within a storm. Would you like to give me a perception check?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'd love to do that. I'm gonna look and listen.
Absolutely. Considering where you are, you may roll with advantage.
Thank you. 12.
Okay.
It's above average.
As you are traveling, Matthias, there's this sense that if you were able to penetrate on a deeper level through the snow, through the storm, if you were able to stop for a moment the whipping of the wind, if your senses were stronger, whether it be through blind sight or anything like that, that there is so much around you you are not picking up. That there are things happening within the storm. It's not through noises, it's not that you're seeing anything, it's that you are aware there's something blocking you, there's something deadening whatever is happening here. But you do notice, as you've been pushing through the storm, kind of keeping your eye on this steed below you, not its muscles working, but its bones shifting within whatever aura you've summoned around it. The corpse that was in its mouth is now gone. But there's no sense of loss. That's part of what you're not aware of. You travel for what feels like hours, pushing forward. I want to know, how unusual is it for you to ride upon a beast this size? How does this feel to you?
I mean, very unusual. I don't think that he makes a habit of being in sort of a cavalry position. He's kind of a big guy.
Yeah.
So, like, period, getting on animals isn't necessarily what he naturally jumps to. It's not really what it was trained
There aren't a lot that
for.
fit you.
There aren't a
You
lot
outgrew
that
your
fit.
father's horses pretty early on.
Yeah. So this
But of
is
course,
pretty out of the
a
ordinary.
knight you were trained with horsemanship.
Right.
You do know cavalry positions. You do know commands.
Yeah.
Do you command beast in the way you were raised by your father or trained with the Line Knights?
That's a great question. I think out of habit, that is the method that he was trained with. And I think that just trying to stay on course, that's what he defaults to. So,
Okay.
yes.
Would you give me an animal handling check? But instead of using wisdom, I'd like for you to use your charisma.
Oh shit.
So if you're proficient in animal handling, you can add your proficiency. Otherwise, roll with charisma.
I'm absolutely not proficient with animal handling. One of these days, I'm gonna roll good. That is a 10, straight up and down.
Okay. The owlbear lacks ears, right? There's no bones. But it doesn't seem to be listening.
Now,
It doesn't have the little cartilage bones.
resident animal fact guy here. Yeah, I mean, if the head's an owl, technically, still got bone ears, but they might not work.
It doesn't have. It can't perk its ears, is what I mean.
Damn.
So sorry. It's also some of those bones are in a little bit of poor condition, considering what Novel put it through.
Novel smashed its ears specifically.
Yeah, Novel kicked it in the ear.
He got kind of
Now it doesn't have
fucked
any
up,
bones.
you know?
I went for the throat and the chest, and yet the hearing. It's the trick. It's a fever trick, obviously.
Mm-hmm. The beast doesn't seem to be responding to your commands. You move forward, not that there is a path, but again, there's this sense of disconnect, right? Like you should know what you're doing, but you haven't been given instructions.
Okay.
Finally, you see looming immediately out of the storm, coming up so close at the speed you're traveling that you realize you've been moving much faster than you thought because something white just shoots past you. And then again, a gigantic mound of some kind of white, thicker than you are, just moving past you rapidly. And you realize that Beast has been sprinting. You've just become used to the pace. And then slowing down a bit as it dodges between multiple of these thin shoots, these tiny branches of white, almost like a net of coral. There's a bright shattering sound. And then the storm clears. And you see, once again, white mist, a gigantic skull, looming teeth like mountain peaks. And sitting behind you, you feel a hand on your shoulder.
Sitting behind me? Oh boy. I mean, I think the automatic reaction is just like a full body sort of like jump and jerk to the side to look around, possibly even like swinging the arm back in a sort of clotheslining motion to like try and sweep this person off, just out of reaction, whatever's behind me.
You get your arm around a bearded man who kind of like jerks in shock. It looks like the dead man, but instead of that like bleached, water decayed skin, he now has a rosy pulse to him. His eyes are bright. He's wearing leathers, a cloak.
Oh. Sorry about that.
Where, I...
I know that you're probably very confused. I've been here before, and I was very confused as well. My name is Matthias Markart.
My name is Horror Khan. You've been here before.
I have.
This looks like my home, but it's different.
I want to take another look around at what's around us. The first time I was here, I was on a very long sort of causeway that was lined with giant ribs that went up to a massive skull cathedral situation. Mm-hmm. Is that what it looks like now?
To you, you can see the skull. You've approached it from a bit of a different angle. You've come at it from the side, not down this long causeway towards the front, but rather kind of through the jaw, almost. Okay. So you can see the teeth looming, but it seems, looking behind and around, it seems like you've come through some kind of almost rolling hill. Like there's something buried underground, but you can see more of this patterning, not of ribs necessarily, but of bone, but also tree, like bleached tree that's coming out of these rolling hills towards the Skull Cathedral. He is looking at something kind of directly to your left that just seems to you to be white mist.
Interesting. Can I pop off a little divine sense? Just a little divine sense. I know it's gonna just be like a beacon, but there's stuff that's here that I'm not sensing, and short of other methods of sensing it, I think that Matthias is gonna try for a divine sense.
Okay.
Which is anything affected by the Hallow spell, or the known location of any celestial feet undead within 60 feet that's not behind total cover.
You release your divine sense, and normally this only radiates 60 feet, is it?
Ooh, yes, 60 feet.
Mm-hmm. There's a pulse, a shimmering pulse, that bone-shaking tremor that releases with your Aegis, around and through and across, blowing back the mist for a moment, or miles. And you realize you're standing on polished marble. Very different than the white bone, but just this intricate marble flooring. I would say almost Kitsugi-esque, where there's these different pieces of stone that seem to kind of blend together and shift through each other. So like slightly peachier colors or darker or gray, and then it sweeps back. But as it sweeps away, laid within this marble, you can also see skeletons. Numerous skeletons, arranged not just in humanoid shapes, but in animal shapes, almost fossilized. Like this entire area, this basin, has had millions of creatures live here and then settle into the marble. You can see swirls of shells. You can see a gigantic arcing skeleton, whale-like in shape, and then blows back. And he has been pretty calm, but he startles for a moment as you do this. You can see like the panic in his eyes.
Sorry about that.
Where did my homestead? And then the mist blows back and he calms down. For a moment I thought it never snowed. It never snowed before, but it's snowing here now.
Matthias is going to dismount, and as he sort of like slides over the edge and then looks back up towards Harkon and says, "You're welcome to continue riding if you'd like. I think it will be easier for me to speak to you from here. You can also walk with me."
I will walk with you. And he reaches for your hand so you can help him down. He's much smaller than you are. Just kind of looking away from Beast, like it's a bit uncomfortable, and then steps forward with you. Beast just bounds off through the mist.
Oh shit, okay.
Without being dismissed. Almost playfully.
Yeah.
Leaving the two of you to walk forward towards the cathedral. As you approach, you can see, standing once again underneath one of the massive incisors, a tall figure. Black feathers, white spikes, almost inhuman eyes, gold flecks. The figure that greeted you previously seems to be waiting for you.
While there's still some distance between us, and, after Beast bounds off, I look to Harkon again and I say, "You say it looks like your home. Tell me about it. What does it look like?"
I haven't been back in a long time. I grew up through here, towards the base of that canyon.
Matthias looks and tries his best, just tries so hard to see what this person is describing, but at the very least is looking in the directions that he indicates.
Yeah. We sometimes call it the coiled basin, the way that the rivers run and wind. So the strange thing is that I never built a house here. I would still call it home, but the sloped roofs, that's for catching the snow in Valkyrie. It never snows. It never snows in Noara.
I have to tell you that we're not in either of those places, really, right now. I have a job, a directive, and part of that is helping you, Harkon. Because you're you're no longer connected to those places. Do you understand?
I haven't been here in a long time, but I've always felt connected to it. I've never met you, but you look so familiar.
I tried to save your body.
I think I saw you. He kind of just tilts his head suddenly, like someone's called out for him, and kind of pushes past you, walking towards this shadow of the skull. Will you give me one more perception check?
Yeah. Damn you. Statistically, you have to give me a good roll. Okay. 17.
All right. As he moves away from you into this shadow, the bottom jaw, there's like these small points where it emerges up through the mist. What you think are these teeth kind of shift for a moment, almost incandescent, flickering, like the haze around a fire. And you see two figures, arms open, just kind of reaching out. He steps forward, and then, almost in slow motion, you see him fall. His feet and legs go transparent, the cloak just kind of dissolving into mist, and you see he falls into the floor. As the skin and flesh disappear, the bones just kind of clattering silently and falling into place in the marble. And then it's quiet again.
Matthias stands there for a moment. His silhouette is dark against the completely white everything. All but his hair and his face that kind of blend in. And he just processes for a moment. And then he looks to the cut of the figure that's waiting for him up ahead. And he's going to approach that figure. And I don't know if you'd be okay cutting there and coming back later.
That was exactly what I was going to do.
Great.
You step towards this figure and then hear a message. Pooja, what did Kiara send to Matthias previously?
The first one was probably, "Hi Matthias, I hope you're still alive. We fought oil ooze and Neve almost died, but she's okay. Matt." And then there's another one immediately after that. But they are grumpy and it will be fine. Daz tried to lead. We said why. I think his feelings, next one, are hurt, but I think he will be okay also. Come back soon. Also, you can reply to all of these.
Thank you for keeping me in the loop. Contact me if anything else goes wrong. I'll be back soon.
Pardon, just listening to Kiara do this, just like, And you didn't mention the fact that we lost all of our provisions and the sled.
I
Might be.
I
Actually,
only
you know
had
what? We might be able to fix it
Rip.
before he comes back.
I only had
Rip.
3 statues.
Perfect report. No notes.
Yeah.
I love it
Listen,
slow
so
thumbs
much.
up.
I figure he would want the gossip more.
That's what's important to it later.
He seems into the human element of this mission. Not the human, you know what I mean. The personal element, not the logistical one.
Wow.
He's so logistical.
Matthias,
How dare
After
you?
setting up all the supplies.
So logistical.
No. That was Kiara definitely being like, I feel like
I'm
if
getting
I
water.
tell him about everything being gone, Matthias might abandon his own mission and come back, and like I think she'd feel guilty about that.
Fair enough. Okay. So you receive that message back. You have set off once again. Some of you walking, you can no longer sit within the sled. Are you once again riding on one of your Arkhams or walking side by side?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think I'm riding one of my Archons and slightly ahead, just scoping out my eye with my eyes, my ears, and my psionic stuff. Like, is there anything coming up that we need to know about? Just like, oh fucking god,
You are following, treading along behind the footsteps and the cart of the oil workers. They are moving a little bit faster than you all since they have steeds that are used to pulling here. So they're not quite horses. I would say they're similar. Your goats are not quite normal for like riding on necessarily. They're more wild, but these ones have adapted a little bit to pulling your sled. So they are riding these very thick furred horses, like very thick, broad, a lot of like long shaggy hair that's longer than normal for a mane, kind of going down the whole back actually, and down to the tail. Big, thick, furred tail. So they've left ahead of you. You're able to follow their trail pretty efficiently. Taz, would you also give me a perception check? And if anyone else, if someone else, one other person who's keeping an eye out as you guys continue to travel, wants to make a roll for me?
I was going to be at the back of the pack anyway, so I'm listening to make sure nothing's following us.
All right, you can give me a perception check as well.
Don't think I'm actually keeping my eye out for outside threats, but I do want it noted that Awish is staring straight forward, but has manifested mind Darren to the back to keep an eye on all the people in the cart so that they can be like, I'm not paying attention. But
I only got a 10. Boo.
Okay.
16.
16. All right.
I'm pulling this freaking sled. Carcass.
Yeah, you are pulling the sled. It's quite slow going. And I think Vice is helping you, Novel, if only to make it less awkward, because normally it's pulled by 2 struts forward, right? And if you are pulling it along on one as you're turning it,
Oh yeah, it goes.
like, so it's a lot easier with 2 people pulling the sled along. Everything that you use to tie the goats to the sled has been completely dissolved, so there's no way that you can kind of get the harness attached to the sled.
For our 50 foot of hempen rope.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have 50 foot of hempen rope, but it is cold as shit. So trying to tie knots around a rope harness around these animals and then connect them to the sled seems like it might be more trouble than it's worth. If you want to say that as you're going, you stop for a moment and try, but I'm telling you, this is like doing shibari when your hands are frozen.
I love the word for shibari straight up. Yeah, we're not bothering doing that. We're just hauling it.
Okay.
Barton's just
so,
yeah.
And Vice is pretty buff.
Yeah,
Vice
like
is notably buff.
we're the two strong boys now.
Yeah.
Varden's just having a
So-
great, well, comparatively great time hanging out with Vice.
And Barden, your form is taller than Vice, but maybe by 2 feet or so. You're pretty evenly matched as you're pulling. It's slow going, but it's not very heavy anymore. Fortunately or unfortunately. Everyone, I would say, in the party, unless anyone does not want to carry something, probably has to now carry their own like additional set of clothes on their back and any like specially treated material that they have purchased. Other than that, there's not much left. As I said, you were down to basically the ration that you had ate. Anything that was being saved on the cart is now gone. So you're you have, a backpack. If you have any weaponry, you're now like have that strapped across you while you're pulling this sled. It's awkward and cumbersome, and you're sweating through your clothes, even though it's freezing cold. So, but pushing along for another hour or two. Yes.
I was just going to say it's actually very important in winter conditions that you tactically dress so that you do not sweat when you are doing things, which is something that Matthias would have brought up. Just a note. Also, Alex, if you want to use this against us, fully go for it. But it's very important because in very cold conditions, it's very difficult for moisture to evaporate, and it tends to stick to clothing, which means that it's really hard to dry, which is a problem when your whole goal is to stay as warm and dry as possible. Just throwing that out there, just a little
I'll say
fun fact.
definitely you've given them that tactical information, but considering they're now carrying all of their gear, they're definitely sweating. So it's like you're not having a fun time traveling. It's pretty miserable.
Helpful trivia to let
right
us
now.
know why we're specifically boned right now.
Yeah.
Just so you
Thanks
know,
so much.
you're suffering. Don't forget, you're suffering.
Remember that we suffered.
I was thinking about that. I didn't feel like it was my place to sing it, but maybe if Alex wants to sing
it's
it.
a great song.
I don't know what that's from.
It's a song about Judaism.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, really good.
It is. Great.
I think because they still got the mental link going. I think just as they're going like to Kiara, just, could at some point could you please just dry us all off? If you're not able to do the gestures because they're holding the thing, but in your mind you can
feel like pull out your holy symbol between your back.
I'm gonna prestidigitate a hair dryer, basically, to help dry your sweat patches.
No. It grows dark, pushing now into the evening as you continue to travel. A little bit harder to see the previous tracks. Let me turn time of day to evening. There we go. To see the previous tracks of the oil workers. Most of what you are watching for Tazriel are these smoke stacks that have been emerging from where patches of what you now know are oil mines or coal mines as well have been placed around this area. So just trying to keep an eye out for any of those, since they did mark before where some of these creatures had come from. It is also you, Taz, who spot in the distance light. You have been moving up steadily, coming between thicker wooded forest, and then the sound of rushing water, this kind of bright light through the trees, passes over you, and then passes again, almost like a lighthouse.
So the mental link's supposed to last for 6 hours, so I don't think we're out of it yet.
Not yet, no.
So then to everybody, there's a light up ahead, like a lighthouse. It might be getting closer.
I think Vice is in this as well.
Thank gold for that. My ass hurts. Okay, well, let's
Make a-
continue.
You see VJ like,
I want y'all to know, I thought about doing like a private mentor, with our newfound camaraderie. I'd love to offer you a massage, but the human guy VJ thought better of it.
You know what? I think that's smart.
Everybody wants to fuck my MILF.
I want to marry her. Excuse you.
But also, let her
Yes.
live,
My
Maddie.
Yeah, she deserves all of us.
If she wants it, let her have it. Like, what the hell?
I love that everyone else isn't responding. They're just like, I'm concentrating on my breathing.
I'm
too
concentrating on not being cold.
I am traveling you now to what you see as you emerge from the tree.
ew, a place.
A little location feature.
Location.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
a
come
little
on.
market.
Oh, hello.
Constance.
Now,
Come on.
technically, you are
I can't see
approaching
it.
from over here.
Right. Fine.
There we are.
Come on.
Yes,
Come on, computer. You can do it. There it is.
This
There
is the. We're traveling with the workers right now, correct?
They have pushed ahead.
They went on
of you.
ahead?
They
Okay.
traveled. They went on ahead, yes.
But we would
Um,
kind of know that this is what they were like. Hey, go this way towards this.
Yes, you've been
Following
following
their footprints.
their tracks. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me make sure
Mhm.
it's the right time of day. There we go.
Ooh.
Pretty dark. Yeah, there we go. So a little hard to see, but this lighthouse. Let me see if I can make it a little brighter for you. There we go.
Every time Taz moves, a backpack moves with him.
I don't know what's happening.
I
don't
love
know
it.
why.
Matthias!
Not just a backpack, a fucking rock.
That's just an NPC.
Oh my god. Novel! There's another doppelganger here.
Oh, where?
Wow.
Where?
There we go.
There's a
I've
fucking
taken.
changeling in
doppelganger.
here.
You know
Ooh.
what? Fuck this. I'm gonna.
I like
make it
this
night
burb on the
manly.
tree.
There we go.
There's a
Look at
hole
this pretty
in the tree.
burb.
Yeah, burp.
Aw.
There we are. Now it's
So
now it's
many
dark.
birds. Too many birds.
Anyway, you come through the woods. There are some patches of actual grass here, and also notably, as you kind of emerge through the thicker woods, it's warmer. Like that cold. You're already sweating now with these layers. It's hot. This bridge up ahead, and then finally through the tree line, a massive outline of a town of some kind. And then up above, what seems to be the sort of like rotating beacon on a grand structure. It is squat and square. Hard to tell again through the light, through the darkness, and like the light passing over you, kind of blinding you every like 30 seconds or so. But there is a gigantic concrete brick structure of some kind that just looms over this town that you've come upon. And now there is a bridge ahead of you over a dark flowing river.
Think we make for it?
Is it a bridge over troubled waters?
Definitely over troubled waters. Weish is looking out for the first place that we can hunker down for the night.
Yes,
Because
please.
they are miserable. They want to get their clothes off.
Let me make my lantern so bright. Wait, can you give me an investigation check? Or
Oh,
or perception. You can also give me this with using your charisma if you would like, if you want it to be based on you talking to people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wish, you wanna-
Wait.
Are you
Was
asking
that
the
Sarah or Sig?
wizard? You're asking the wizard if they want to roll for charisma? You know
Yeah.
what? Just because
Yeah.
I I hate that you know me so well that you're gonna put something in front of me that I am bad at, but be like, oh, you could do it, and you know I'll take the fucking bait.
I know
asshole.
you will.
Fine, I'll roll for charisma. I'll roll fucking what? Persuasion?
Sure, yeah. Give me a persuasion check.
There's grumpy Snow Elf.
There's this guy who looks remarkably like Matthias. No.
You know what? I don't want to roll persuasion. I want to roll perception because I want to act nicer than I actually am.
Give me a perception check then.
Oh, deception, I meant.
Oh, I'm not gonna allow you to roll deception unless you like go up to someone and lie to them.
I'm lying about being pleasant.
You have to go up to someone and lie.
I think that's more of a performance role, right?
Yeah, performance I would say is a thank you. Give me performance.
My own party throwing me under the bus. How dare you? This isn't even my good die. I don't know where my good die is.
It's for our entertainment, though. Like,
this isn't my old reliable 17. Yeah, that's about right. That's a 3. I think I scare a small child, if there are any small children in here.
I also want to be clear. There are rules in the DMG related to like role-playing NPCs, and certain NPCs, if you want to use them, certain NPCs will begin like neutral or positive towards a party. I'm going to tell you straight off. You begin to cross the bridge into this, area. It's kind of night.
The temperature drops by 10 degrees as a witch crosses the bridge.
Wait, you walk in here and you feel eyes on you immediately.
The vibe hurdles around you.
They know I'm a fucking mage.
It's the kind of like awareness where people are packing up market stalls, things are happening within this town. As you all begin to approach, things stop. Everyone just starts looking at you.
Okay, so they weren't packing up because we came. They were packing up before and
packing up faster now.
Everyone just like stops. Anyway, you stride forward. You have, a presence with the way you carry yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
usually better for scaring people.
One of the market workers just kind of like looks towards you, and his lips form. You have a feat that allows you to read lips. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see his lips form the words mage.
Cool.
And then he turns back and keeps packing up his cart.
Scarlet M.
I do. It's the fucking Scarlet M. Everyone hates mages in this town. Which, understandable. This makes sense.
Yeah.
We are a threat. However, I don't do good. I think I try to talk to people and they do not talk to me.
Seeing that, I think Kaz is gonna go up to the one that like...
Sorry, please continue. I just realized I've made a huge error, and you'll find out what it is in a moment. But please keep going. I'm not gonna change it.
Taz,
keep going.
Taz is gonna go and try and talk to the one that like stopped to look at a wish and is back to package. Yeah.
As you break away, Kiara is going to smack your butt with a little guidance. Go get us somewhere to stay, Taz.
Tazriel, this guy is over here packing up. He's kind of the first one immediately off the bridge. There he is. And you go up. What do you say to him? He's folding cloth, taking it off this clothesline.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt. I can see you're closing down for the day. You can probably tell we're new into town, looking for a place to stay, and I think he'll like lean in, like not invading this person's personal space, but like lean in as if like
he steps away from you.
Oh man, I think like Taz will try to leave, and that happens. I'll make sure our magic user keeps their magic to themselves. We understand the situation here.
Just One of them, then.
Yeah, Taz. This one?
Hold on.
I love that we've got the
This is VJ.
rogue.
Pausing and breathing for a second.
Oh yeah, I get you. You're very allowed.
Well, one mage and one cleric.
Turns away, continues to fold his clothes.
Can I say that Owesh looks to Vice really quickly after reading the lips of that person, and probably a good bit of this conversation with this person here, and says, "Is it so terribly obvious?"
Not to me, but I'm not well versed, necessarily.
Suppose I'll take it as some kind of compliment. I just had to say it in character.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you all pass over the bridge and kind of move into this market square, yeah?
And
Yeah.
Okay, well, if Taz looks forlorn, Carol wants to grab Barnabin and be like, someone here has to tell us where to stay. I mean, what's the other option? We camp in the middle of this marketplace? Let's go make friends.
Like that.
I know, right? Like, it's better for them that we are indoors.
Yeah, less likely to touch things.
I really need to lie down. I'm really tired. Neva's been pretty quiet, but she's also her brow is drenched, her hair is bad under her hood.
Do you want to piggyback? Do you want just until we get somewhere?
No, I'm okay. We still have to pull the sled through the stuff.
It's fine. We've got that.
Dolls
You just
Okay.
I am 2 seconds away from employing threats.
Okay. Can we see that? Can we tell that Oash is gonna?
Well, I was looking for someone youngish.
Someone young? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Kiara, there
Yeah.
seems to be a
Young and vulnerable.
Kiara and Varden. Just like here within this area, there doesn't seem to be a lot of young people out. It's now pushing maybe 6 or 7 p.m. I think the youngest looking person that you would immediately see, there's someone that's standing by another bridge, and then someone in kind of similar attire who is a little bit further along, kind of over by one of these lanterns. One with long hair and one with short hair.
Barden, are you feeling strong about any of those folks?
I was actually going to ask, can I use investigation perception? Can I see if I'll be honest, I'm looking for earrings, just in case.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking for any signs that there could be an influence here somewhere that might help.
No, you don't have dark vision, and a lot of these people are like packing up and doing things. You're trying to spot a particular earring in a market. So give me perception with disadvantage.
That's understandable. Like, I'm not going to use magic as well. Okay, that's not bad. See how bad it can get. Okay, that's a 13.
A 13.
It's not terrible. It would have been a 21.
There's a certain kind of person who is usually associated with this symbol. It does tend to be people who are investigative, right? Like Siren's friends, usually, like, there are a lot of magic users. So you're looking around, but based on the immediate reaction from, like, Mage, you don't get those vibes.
Yeah,
from
there
anyone.
could be a little secret guy hidden. Come on.
Could be a little secret guy, but there's no
Okay.
eye symbol.
I can't. Okay. Do I get any better vibes from one guy or another? Short hair or long hair?
I would say with the 13, and since Kiara's looking out too, the 2 who are dressed similarly, you think they might be guards or like authority. One of them is just kind of standing by the bridge waiting. So
I think we can go to the bridge one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So I think
Moving
Sarah will
on.
approach with Barden.
there you go.
Yeah.
Pass between
And
the
we'll
stalls.
be like,
This
go.
person puts a hand up as you approach. Sort of olive-skinned, blonde hair, a bunch of freckles, has this kind of like just dark navy scarf that he is wearing, armor as well, fairly nice armor, and a sword obviously strapped across one back. He puts up a gloved hand. Halt.
Hello.
Hell.
Hi,
Yes.
we're looking for a place to stay.
Are you here to sell? Here to buy?
Dubai.
To buy. Many of the merchants have taken up residence behind the factory grounds, but if you are just here to buy, you will most likely find a place to stay in the Slick Hole Inn.
Okay.
Say that again.
The Slick Hall Inn or the
Do
Slick
it one more
Hole
time.
Inn?
Run it by one more time, Alex.
Slick
Do it again.
hole. Wet.
Is that the
slippery
mistake you
hole.
made?
That has to have been a mistake.
The slick. First you said slick earlier,
But-
and now you're like the slick
but-
hole.
How did
There
that
is-
make it past the censors? I gotta know.
I swear to God, I was making this map at like 1 a.m, and I was like, oil slick, dingy inn, hole in the ground, hole in the wall, slick hole.
Love a slick hole.
There is just a moment of having to.
You know what? Guard says it completely straight faced.
Yeah, and Kiara's eyes just go wide. Where would the Slick Hole Inn be?
Man, it doesn't get better.
Just points to this building,
Okay.
dilapidated. There's wood across some of the windows instead of glass panes. But the building that's right next to this bridge here, just kind of like facing the market. It seems like it's it's one house, but then has had this kind of like brick thing attached to it.
Mhm.
And then kind of behind it, you can see there's this like fenced off area.
The Slick Hole looks a little tattered, unfortunately.
Would you prefer to sleep outside?
No, I'm just saying it's been through some rough times, and I guess that's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
It's really taking a pounding.
Barden's trying not to laugh. Barden is holding it in, just Thank you.
We will
Would
go
you
to
mind-
the Slick Hole and see if we can get it. I'm sorry, I will stop now.
Was that in character?
No! Maybe!
That
But
slick
Barden's
hole
just
has
like-
seen better days.
So, thank you so much for the recommendation. I just
Yeah.
wanted to check, when will the market be open for us to peruse again? I imagine it seems to be closing for the night. Thank you. I'm gonna take a silver bucket. A little silver from my... Thank you
I
so
don't
much.
want your money.
Oh, no
Oh.
worries. That's
I
fine.
thought that's... Wait, so what do you exchange in the marketplace if not money?
The merchants will take your money.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your time and your assistance.
Do not try to bribe a guard again here.
I apologize if it came across that way. I was just thankful for the information. Can I see like a symbol of a god? Is it similar to like the one that Harkon was wearing?
No, you
Has
don't
it got
see
the same
any
vibe?
symbol that is immediately apparent on no. Harkon is not dressed similarly to this guy. Harkon, I would say, didn't have the same nice armor. Like he was leathers, right? This guy is wearing metal armor, like a chain shirt over this sort of navy scarf. There's no apparent symbol, like there's not a badge or anything like that. I think maybe it's just the way that he is holding himself here, and he's dressed a little bit similar to the person across the market who's also just kind of like watching the proceedings. But yeah, nothing obvious.
Okay.
You can give your thanks, but keep your money.
Well, we appreciate it. I imagine it's a cold job. Well, thank you very much. Have a great day. And we'll go get the rest of our crew. Thank you. Just arm around Kiara's neck, her shoulder, and then she's just like, slick hole. Like, letting it out finally, just like...
Kiara just calls across the marketplace, "Hey, Daz, we're going to the slick hole in..." And heads that way.
I think Taz is just like back with the others, just like frustrated at what just happened. Because he is charming. He does his thing and then hears that and it's just...
Yes, I've stayed there before.
You stayed
Did you
where
enjoy
before?
it? Did you enjoy the slick hole?
Not really.
If you knew we were going to stay at the slick hole, why did you make us go through all this conversation?
Well, if it's that building, they've changed the name multiple times.
Oh, what was it before?
Alex, what was the name before?
Dry hole?
Get out this joke before I make a wish a wet blanket.
I want to say gaping.
The
Tell me if I'm
gaping
close.
hole.
The gaping.
The gaping hole.
It was the tar pit.
Fair enough, fair enough.
As enlightening as this conversation is, I'd love to get
Yes,
inside.
I think that is the smart thing to do. Okay, so you move through towards this inn. The market is closing around you. You are all welcome to make your way inside, but as you are looking through this market, I think that I want everyone to give me either a Arcana or a History check. This is a high DC. DC 17. Arcana or History.
Arcana. Oh,
Just have to be a
history.
six. Come on now.
History.
Okay.
I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Yes, please.
Roll that. Come on, baby.
17.
Oh,
17?
that's a 22.
22,
Yeah.
nice.
12.
Okay.
26.
I was about to say, we're waiting on Sarah's.
I mean, I
right?
could use my inspiration, but I think we'll be fine.
So, Awaish and Novel, you've seen this before. I'll say that first. But Tazriel, you are also vaguely familiar with this. As you move through this market, there are lights that are set around it. There are these metal cages that are set into the ground, and there's small patches where the snow has melted around them. These lights are not flickering at all. They're not torches. There are these glass shapes within them. And there's a slight humming noise that's coming from them as you pass by.
Didn't we see this at the
Novel,
dock? Sorry.
you have seen one of these in Siren has this lab, right? Almost kind of like an alchemist's lab within the tomb loft. I don't think you've been there very often. It's often full of like blades moving and weird shifting metal parts. But he has one of these lights above this desk. Awaish, would you tell me where you think you might have seen electricity before?
Oh, at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this is a very regular use, especially underwater in the way that Oasia's college was.
Mm-hmm. But expensive. Very expensive. Often, magic is still like the predominant way, but there would be a few of these bulbs underwater.
Mhm.
And Tazriel, again, you haven't seen this before necessarily, but you are aware this is something probably related to a combination of Uarnalbaran mechanics and then most likely like this factory here. So it's not magic, is what you're aware of with that Arcana and History check. And then Kiara, maybe you notice the lights don't flicker, but especially in the Empire, why would you do something like this when you always have access to a flame?
Yeah.
But yes, this town is powered by electricity.
It's just
God, a wish would love to ask about this, but nobody likes to talk here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen these in ages. These cost a pretty penny. But it makes sense, I guess. Oh.
Seems that mining does well.
And doesn't explode the oil, at least. If Kiara looks confused, Barden will explain what it is. Just like, okay, trying to explain electricity. Or
Yes,
at least
please,
the version
thank
that
you.
Siren has given a baby novel.
Imagine lightning.
Imagine lightning, but trapped in a box. And, but then it makes light, and sometimes it makes things go, and just like magic does. But no magic.
But
Imagine magic, but no magic.
Okay.
I know it's a bit weird, but it's really cool.
My grandfather has something like one of these, but he doesn't use it very often.
Ooh. Is it a light? Is it a machine?
More of a machine, yeah.
What does it do?
It spins.
Like planetary? Is it like music?
No, it spins cloth. But without anyone working the cloth.
Like weaving?
Yeah.
That's really cool. This is me. I'm just like, never weaving.
It's a prototype that he's been working on with an investor.
Waish's lip curls a little bit, but they go inside and see about the price of rooms.
Okay. As you guys go inside, I think we're going to do a quick little bathroom break here before we return. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
We'll be back
Be back in a little
soon.
bit. Bye.
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 Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hungers. Now, plugging my computer in. Okay, there we go. As you enter the Slick Hole Inn, I want to get a set up in here, and then we will return to Matthias for a moment. You push through the heavy door. You should be able to go over to this door and travel into it. Let me make sure that this is... Yeah.
Travel away.
And pass through. Mm-hmm.
Come on, let me do it.
Eburn.
If you hit T when you're
Oh,
next
I'm
to the
so
door, you can pass through it.
Magic.
Oh, I suppose I
Come in.
There we go.
gotta walk on over as well.
This NPC who looks
Huh?
remarkably like Matthias.
Don't mind me, I'm just an NPC.
There we go.
Yay! In I go.
This rock is
weird?
haunting me.
Yes, that rock is following you.
Hey, you've got a pet now.
Pet rock.
Pet rock. It's a
You
mimic. You've got a mimic
Step
here.
inside a slightly dingy, but fairly. It looks better on the inside than it did on the outside. Fairly dingy, but decent inn. There is a front bar with a bartender. These two front tables. What looks like a large space for eating and dining, as well as some back rooms.
Amazing. Yeah, I do approach and ask about the prices of rooms.
How long you staying for?
Probably just one night.
Looks you up and down.
Holds
And
the
how
gaze.
many?
How many are there?
Jesus, how many do we?
Five?
How many do we have? Because there's the
5,
3, and then
plus
Vice
the
and Neve and me, so 6.
Oh,
6.
plus the seeds.
Kind of looks over the entire group, those who have entered. And are you staging any livestock or horses?
2 Arkhams and a horse.
$8 gold pieces.
Oish suppresses the urge to roll their eyes and hands over 8 gold pieces. And as they do so, they say, I've noticed that there's quite a bit of suspicion of those of liability around here. Perhaps you would do me the favor of telling me exactly what sort of things I should avoid.
Are you a magic user?
Yes.
Don't cast near the river.
Near the river.
Avoid it entirely if you can.
What's in it?
Go find out. You might enjoy a swim.
Now, I just thought you told me to avoid it, and I've been known to have many means at my disposal to avoid drowning.
If you need magic to avoid drowning, you shouldn't be swimming. But if you want to find out what's in the river, my job is to keep this tavern, not to explain to tourists what happens in a factory.
$8 gold pieces. And they'll pay him.
He takes the gold pieces, passes you 2 burnished keys, and says, you can lead your livestock around back. My assistant will go unlock the gate. A younger boy, kind of looks like maybe his son, about like 11 or 12 or so, has another key around his neck, kind of like this big, just brass key, and steps outside of the tavern, slides open this like big wooden gate. You can see there's this patch where, again, snow has been melted. It's just like warm out the back. There's this kind of like smoke and soot that's billowing from the back of the tavern. It's much warmer on the inside. So there's like this melted patch of grass with a bunch of horses, places to leave your Arkhams, water troughs, things like that.
Alex, could I have insight check that 8 gold piece? Like, not to do anything about it, just Taz's.
You don't, I'll say this. The difficulty for the insight check would be like a 5 or a 6. He just doesn't seem friendly, and 8 gold pieces is a pretty expensive cost for an inn this shabby.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But Awaish knows that even if they hate this dude's vibe, Rancid, the last thing you want to do is make the innkeeper mad. Especially in a town where people don't already like you.
Just because I can see it, and I don't know if it's set dressing or not, but there's like a scrap of paper over there that I'm stood by. Can I just like walk by and see what's on it?
Sure.
If there's nothing on it, that's fine. I'm just my brain is like, ooh, clues. Ooh, things.
Actually, you've noticed just moving through that there are a number of things that are pinned up on boards around the tavern,
Ooh, yes.
as well as pieces of papers and pamphlets. These are job postings.
Ooh. Anything interesting?
It seems like the Furus Refinery is looking for work.
For workers. Do they explain what they're doing? Like what roles?
There's not much detail to it. It says factory looking for workers, and then base pay is 10 silver for a week.
Is that good or bad? That's probably not great.
It's shit.
Yeah, that's... Yikes.
I'm writing this down. Anything else?
Just looking around generally. Mostly job listings. You see that there are a variety of like scribbled maps almost. This is nothing high quality. It's mostly just an outline of like a factory on a map, and then there are a few of these spots that are just like little smoke lines that have been drawn on, and then some of them have been crossed out. It seems like maybe these are places where people like set out from the factory to go look for oil and coal. This is not super official, I would say, but you get the feeling that maybe it's for people who are dropping off shipments here to see like if they should set off and mine different areas.
Okay. I'm copying that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Could be useful. Okay.
Since you are looking through the postings on the wall, do you give me an investigation check?
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
And do you know Thieves' Cant?
I don't, alas. I love the two that know it. Oh, that's not bad though. That's 17.
Okay. Beneath some of these like papers on the walls, plastered over each other, as you like pull some up, you're taking notes, looking. There is a picture underneath of a smiling cat. This like cat with a wide grin on its face, and it's holding up in 2 paws, kind of like this unbalanced thing where it's got a lump of coal held up here, and then a lump of something like white chalk or something held down here, and there's something that's written under it. It just says like the cat smiles, but there's a bunch of dots and dashes between.
Okay, I may not be able to read it, but would I recognize it from other stories?
I don't think so. Specifically, like, Thieves' Cant as a language is usually held pretty closely to the chest. Not the representative of it that is used for sign language, but rather the way that you might sign while you're talking to change the meaning of your words. in written form, it's very different. And because novel specifically doesn't have that criminal background, I'm going to say no. I mean, maybe in the future, but
I think,
yeah.
I think Bart is gonna like mental call to Taz, just like, come look at this. So I know that Taz has seen some weird shit as a fire knight. It could be something else.
Yeah, no, Taz has just been kind of watching this conversation with Oasis and the bartender, and
I'm drawing this as I'm calling.
And yeah, walks over to where Barton is.
This doesn't look like a job listing. I mean, it's very good. I mean, I like the illustration, but...
What's it say, Alex?
Generally, between, like, the dots between the cat smiles, you recognize that cat represents some kind of group. So, like, a smuggling group. It's a signal for, like, you can find this faction. Smiles means that they accept payment. And then the, like, illustration itself means that they offer both high-quality illicit goods and cheap illicit goods.
Joke.
So it's like, we are selling. Come and buy.
So, just still in the head. Also, as they're doing this, Barnard's looking at the job listings as if like, interesting. Trying to like as if they're looking at other things.
There aren't many people in here, but there's still this.
We are the few people here, so we're more
you
noticed.
Just brought 6 people in. There's one fairly intoxicated person just like sitting there staring at you as you all are looking around the tavern, talking, etc.
Oh, one sec. Buffering, I think. Oh no, it's come back.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
cool. I think in your head, Barton Tad is going to say, that's curious, but I don't know myself.
Curiouser? What could be curiouser? Sorry.
It's a curious design, but I don't know.
That's a shame.
Normally would call for a deception check, but I think in this case, since it's a quick mention, and you are also about to be immediately interrupted, I'm not going to have a deception check here. The quick pass over, and Taz, this is something that you've picked up multiple times. So I don't think Barton would necessarily be able to immediately intuit that he's hiding something, because as you are looking through these papers, and like you've paid everything like that, another group of people come in. This is like fairly boisterous and fairly drunk group of nearly identical dwarves. They are like these bright red beards, almost like reddish skin, kind of unusual, I would say, and pointed ears as well. Very thick, long hair, and they're all wearing the same like pulled over, sleeveless kind of leather shirt that has just like in scrawling script. Does anyone read Dwarvish?
1 second.
I do.
Damn it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
How
Hey, Matty.
Does Vice?
No.
Damn it.
Has something written across it in Dwarvish, like in script on the leather. And they all come in, and then they're just kind of like, yeah! And then go up to the bartender and immediately begin, like, kind of go through the back and immediately begin clamoring. It becomes very loud.
Besties just dropped.
Excellent. Alex, really quickly, like right as everything's getting loud, I think Taz sends a message to Just Awaish. I think there's some illicit activity is happening. If you want to check it out with me later this evening.
How long do you anticipate this taking?
Kiara would like to find the nearest happy, rowdy dwarf and make friends.
Maybe a couple of hours. Maybe.
I have one.
One it is.
Mm-hmm.
As the noise grows within the Slick Hole Inn, and you all begin to introduce yourself or put down your heavy accoutrement in the inn. Matthias. Pause all of this
Hello?
and return. Here we are.
Hello?
Matthias, you step towards the figure waiting for you. Under the gigantic stone, under the gigantic bone skull.
Boy, it's been a hot second.
Yep.
I mean, I think that he just kind of... Okay. He steps forward and still is fairly quiet. Just regarding Champion. And then says, I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a little longer. Before I saw you again.
It has felt like a long time to me.
I suppose it would. This is the first
Of many.
Is this what you did before you were here permanently?
I think I did this for a long time.
I have more questions for you.
You can ask, I will try my best to answer, as I have said.
The last time we saw each other, you said that you were monstrous. And you couldn't tell me what kind of monstrous you were.
As he smiles, you can see the kind of feathers that are connected like through his cheeks and into his hair just shift.
Is that why? Or was it given to you?
It was a gift.
Who gave it to you?
He looks up to the massive skull. I wish I remembered.
And what of this role that you find yourself in? Who extended this to you?
No one reached out a hand. there was a space made for me, or I could do it and then the need was there.
I know of a creature. The one who gave me this. And he gestures to the large Mars across his face.
Yes.
The same one who offered me an oath in exchange for my life. A great white wolf. Do you know it?
Friend, I have not seen her in a long time.
Sorry, I heard Sarah from across the hall.
I'm so sorry. I got excited.
Her name?
She does not have a name. She's been called different things. She is a mother.
When I met her, she tried to kill me.
Mothers do that.
And then she offered me this. In exchange for her sparing me.
Well, it seems either way you would have found yourself here. Some choices are not choices.
I suppose not.
That spirit you brought with you,
Harkon.
He is entombed. He cannot be disturbed. That is right. May I show you something?
He'll go with Champion.
Champion with these long, strange, clawed hands just kind of moves toward you and presses on your back to push you forward. As you step deeper into the shadow underneath the skull, he takes his other hand and just passes it over your eyes for a moment. You can feel that cold touch of the feathers. And then as you look, you no longer see marble mist and bone, but a garden. From each of the fossils, from each of the skeletons, from the spaces where different stone meet, you see a garden of white. Familiar flowers, sunflowers, roses, tulips, stranger ones, even massive towering bushes, hedges, trees, all of them white, but as different in texture and shape as the many colors you might find back on Neum. Growing. It is beautiful.
What is this? He does step forward in the silence. and just like reaches out to touch probably one of the sunflowers first, and like runs, well, actually he remove a glove, and then with his hand that has the blackened fingertips and the long claws will like run his fingertips over a petal, and then passing over that sort of go behind to where the stem connects to the head of the flower and like feels the fibers that grow out of the sunflower stem.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel real?
As real as any flower you've known.
Are these growing out of the skeletons, you said?
Yes.
It's missing a little color. Though I guess that's ironic coming from me.
I must admit I don't exactly know what you mean. I've been here a long time and I can't really tell the difference.
Oh, God. It's a beautiful garden. It is a beautiful garden. He'll like walk through some more of the flowers and just like admire them and take time to look at like the skeletons underneath as well and the way that they connect. He does have like a bit of a tenderness when he approaches these things. I think especially coming across some of like the smaller, like closer to the ground blooms, he'll get down on both knees and lean down to sort of like take a look at them and just run his eye over the different like leaf formations and the different patterns of the blooms, and
there
stays
is
there
within a patch of these very small white clover like petals an indent where within the shape of a kind of long, tall humanoid skeleton, there's something kind of within the chest set into the marble. It's this black, almost cross-like shape, very long, where the clover, the flowers have not grown. A spot within the garden.
I'm gonna reach for that. I take off my other glove.
Mm-hmm. Careful now. That is something I have been trying to remove from here for a long time.
It's more curious now. He's gonna, I guess, like put a hand on it and then maybe use his claws and kind of like dig up around the edges,
Yeah.
to see if he can
Grasp
kind of
it out.
excavate whatever this thing is.
It comes into your grasp fairly easily. You pull out a long, jet black greatsword.
I forgot I was getting a weapon.
Forgot it was goodies time.
Oh shit. He pulls it free from the dirt or whatever it is that makes up the ground here, and is sort of like surprised at the first jerk upward as the detritus sort of like cascades down off of it, and then he pulls it into his lap and tries to brush
Matthias.
more off to take a closer
As
look.
you move this sword, this is the most perfectly balanced weapon you've ever held. It is surprisingly light for something so big. And you've trained with great weapons. You are incredibly strong. But moving this thing around is easy.
he pushes himself up from where he's been kneeling and will just like hold it and then bring it around and take it in two hands in front of him and begin to move it up and then back and sort of begins a series of at first disjointed cuts and parries, and then we'll begin to like really swing the sword in earnest.
Mm-hmm. Some relics do not rest easy.
There are children screaming outside, y'all. So sorry.
Oh, I thought that was Chester.
No, it's children. Some relics do not rest easy. Even here.
I think he's just kind of astounded by how good it feels. How long has this been here?
I'm not sure. As far as I remember. Nothing has grown in that spot. It seems to suit you.
He like takes a long considering look at Champion and then at the sword and then looks back to Champion and nods and says, "I'm taking this with me."
He nods. You see, now that you've lifted this black cross from the spot, a few of those clovers have begun to sprout within the ribcage of whatever creature lies here.
If there's a sheath or anything, I'll grab that too.
There is not.
Interesting. How... I suppose I can buy one. Or use my old one.
Give me a moment. He kneels down and looks at this creature, the skeleton, and then back towards the blade. I think this is ancient. Not its age, but its name.
Ancient.
Ancient.
Well... the sword has a name. Then... usually it means someone cared about it very much.
Yes. Are you staying much longer?
Can you show me anything else?
I do not know what else you are looking for.
The things that I'm looking for, I already know I can't ask for from you.
Yes.
Then I suppose I have to get back. But
I understand.
thank you for this. And I'll see you again.
You will. He smiles again.
If you remember anything else about that creature, well, just keep it in mind until I come back.
He steps forward and embraces you.
Whoa. Whoa.
It is surprisingly tender for a man so sharp you can barely wrap your arms back around him.
I think that Matthias feels, in that moment, whatever footing he may have been finding in a space that seemed like semi-non-threatening has been abruptly shifted. And he's just, despite being physically anchored in place by this person, embracing him is completely lost.
You can feel him trembling. Then he steps back. The eyes, whatever consciousness is in them, is alien now. Just gold and sharp. You can no longer see the garden.
I'll come back. And he is like, I think he just kind of like attempts to whistle for Beast or gives like a shout. He's probably got some pretty good lungs on him. I bet he could do a good shout.
Echoes out. And then there's a kind of like a awkward noise, like something sharp on stone, and kind of scrabbling around the corner, you see this skeleton.
He turns back to Champion and lifts a hand and places it on his shoulder and gives a squeeze. And then is going to get up on, once again using the same sort of leg bone to hoist himself up onto the creature. Gives one last look back. And then is going to speed off in a direction.
Hand over his mouth. You can see between the claws these two gold eyes, and then raises it. And you take off on Beast with your black sword. Moving again away down that causeway of towering ribs and white arches. And the storm picks up around you once again.
What am I gonna do with this fucking sword? I got a whole ass sword!
Sword time!
Sloan, would you pick, if you are able to do so, one of your stats
Mm-hmm.
and reduce it by 1?
Oh,
You make me reduce a stat?
Just by 1,
Oh.
not by the +1, by whatever, if it's a 13 or a something like that.
Oh, Alex. Alex.
Matthias is the man who never gets boons without consequences.
Alex, my man.
You said you wanted to keep your 100 hit points, so...
Cruel and unusual.
Oh, did that end up being a little fucky-wucky?
No, I just broke 100 hit points, so I was like sad about getting rid of my, because you know the last time I died, the last time I went here, I changed a little bit and I
You
lost hit points.
I see.
Leave
Hey,
those
what a
scraps of
trade-off.
myself.
No.
I guess I could reduce my dexterity. You know, honestly, I could reduce my intelligence. And it wouldn't take me
Don't do
down
that.
anymore. Well, it wouldn't take me down anymore because I'm at a 7. So if I get it down to an even, I'll still be at a
And
-2.
honestly, when it comes to what this represents and what you're losing, intelligence might also be fitting.
Nerf that bitch, okay?
dumb man.
I'm gonna take one off his intelligence.
Matthias,
Love him.
you're blonde, right?
Yes, Matthias is blonde. Very blonde. Ashy
There are
blonde.
now growing from the back of your neck these little feathery blonde pieces just down your spine.
Becoming a creature.
Little guy.
Something to pet
Oh,
while you're
Something to pull? Sorry.
where are we?
You got baby bird feathers.
Oh, Bubby. Are they all like sticky uppy and awkward like baby bird feathers?
No, it's
No.
kind of like
like
just like a
down?
smooth line down his spine.
Slick.
Like feather down.
Slick down to
Alex is like, all of you are monster fuckers, and I'm gonna make you do it.
a little.
You don't have to go out to fuck the monster if the
You're gonna
monster
be a
is in the
harpy?
party.
Yeah.
Matt is going to be a harpy.
Matthias, you push back into the storm. You may also increase your strength once again by 1. I think, does that put you at a 22?
Wait,
It does. It does. It puts me at a 22. I'm at a +6, bitch!
You're just gonna be able to pick up the party and juggle us.
This
Fuck
also
yes.
represents, Matthias, for you, a point in which you no longer have a strength that is known to humans. Or any humanoid species. Besides maybe some giantkin.
So cool.
Anyone who is like well versed enough to recognize certain kinds of strength would know that there is something now inhuman about you. Hello. we have a raid.
Thanks
Yes.
for the raid. I just
Welcome
came
in.
back from the
Raiders?
land of death for the second time. This time I
And
didn't die.
traded brain
And he's coming back
for
wrong
strength.
You don't gotta be smart if you can lift that rock so good. You know?
Yeah. Matthias Himbo arc. Real?
Oh my god. Oh
Alex,
my
like-
god.
Yeah.
Those of us that recognize things, not saying it's Taz, like unnatural strength, like wild unnatural strength for some
I
people.
mean, wild as
Perception.
a category represents things that are unnatural. So, yes, definitely.
Against my will.
Who cares? I love that for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, again,
so good.
wild as a marker, people, to be clear, people generally in the world of Neum would call it wild. Its source is divinity.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
unknown.
Those
Yeah.
bitches don't
Just
understand
we
what
don't
true
know,
wild
so-
is.
Yes. Exactly.
Super cool.
That's so cool.
All right.
I'm so excited to draw Matty with feathers.
Brother boy.
Oh, shit.
It's gonna be good.
Next time I'm just gonna give him
Yeah, boy.
like little
Oh my
and
god, oh my
tails.
god, oh my god,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god,
like
you
those-
cannot catboy
Every
my
time you try and
character in
slick-
real life.
Every time you try and slick your hair back, it just comes whoop.
Yeah, you get all
Well,
your hair sticks up.
You know, we've been talking about Maddie Werewolf.
match
Apparently, Maddie is Werebird.
Yeah.
Copy. Talons?
Isn't it
Yeah.
enough to just be a guy? Isn't it enough?
No.
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 Can I just be a guy?
No, why be a guy when you can also be a raven?
Oh my god.
Back in the inn. Back in the tavern.
Back from death.
While Matthias is fighting his way back to life.
Kicking and screaming.
It is now around 8 p.m. in the evening. You guys are welcome to rest here, or if you want to go out at night, but I am going to allow you to take a long rest.
Yay!
Oh, fuck yeah,
Worth
dude.
it.
That's
Worth the 8
nice.
gold.
That's nice of you.
Yeah. This means it is not a great long rest. So what you're going to do for me, I know HP can be a little funny on D&D Beyond, So heal up automatically to 10 under your whatever your max HP is, and then you can spend hit dice if you
Okay.
would like to try and fill that back up.
If we are
If you're already
already
past that, then you're fine.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
Hey, I get to go off on a third of my hit points.
Yay!
Yes,
Taz is not sleeping.
you are not. Now, keep in
None of these
mind,
I know.
bitches sleep.
He knows. He's been
I
talking
know.
about this all week. He's so
You're gonna have
excited
to
about
start
it.
making saves to just stay awake. Like,
Me currently.
okay, Tazriel. Now, I will allow if you want to gain back some of your abilities. I'm kind of going to leave this up to you here. You're not resting, but you do have access to like food, warmth, comfort. So if there's anything related to that, like if you want to gain back your psionic dice, I will allow it. I also think maybe being in a certain kind of unsleeping mindset might actually heighten some of what Taz does in his head. So I will allow you to refill your psionic dice and things like that. You do take 2 points of exhaustion.
2. How many is
Oh.
Taz at?
2.
Good
Yeah, so-
lord.
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Mhm.
And my movement speed is half. Alex, here's a question.
Yes.
Are the black market thing,
Mhm.
did it seem like it was at like a specific time during the day? Like if we went at night, there would be something happening? Like what's the vibe on that exactly?
As far as you can see when you just look out, even though the windows are kind of smeared and dusty, there doesn't seem to be any activity going on in the main market square. Like things have been shut down, things have been cleared out. No one has reset up a new thing at night. It's just that main open market is closed down for the evening. There might be other places in town where things are happening at night, but you would have to go looking for them rather than just looking outside.
Then one other. So he gets those extra 2 points of exhaustion after not sleeping through the rest of the
After
night,
not
correct?
sleeping, that'll be in the morning. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, he's just gonna I think later on in the evening he'll just go see a wish. I'm not quite sure where this thing is. I know it's here, so I'm gonna go look around. And
How exactly do you know it's here?
he'll just tell you about the whole message and everything.
Well, you have an hour. Let's go. You look like shit.
I don't look. He doesn't look like shit yet.
You didn't sleep last
You
night.
do look like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's fine. I look fine.
I'm an expert in looking like shit, and you look like shit.
Now, before you two go out for the evening, I also want to ask, since there was a moment here where you were all settling in, if there was anything that happens before you go out, like any conversations you wanted to initiate previous to this, which might be a longer external.
Kiara was making friends.
Kiara was making friends.
Okay.
Kiara wanted to mingle with the rowdy dwarves and get to know what they were celebrating about.
And
Yes, mingle with the dwarves.
I think after like a quick double take at the red-headed dwarves coming in, like the first one that came in just going, and then realizing it's a bunch of them, just like, okay, and then go with Kiara, because why not? Although, before they do, just going to Awage, like, that question tonight, if that works for you.
You have 10 minutes from the moment you ask it. We don't have much time tonight.
Oh.
So does that mean that they want to know that now, or
No, basically that they will section
time.
10 minutes for you whenever you approach, and that's as much time as they can give you.
Oh,
But yes.
wow.
Awage
You know-
has some chores to do.
So when you get back, I can ask that. Sorry,
Mhm.
my brain is not. There we go. Okay,
Absolutely.
got it. Thank you very
We're
much.
leaving
I
around like
appreciate-
8 p.m. We're not coming back any later than 9, so.
I appreciate the time. And heads over with Kiara.
okay, excellent.
Hello, new besties.
She's just excited for Kiara to make some friends, you know, to feel charismatic, because it's not been a great day for them. So, like, go bestie, go do your best thing.
Listen, all these people out here judging Kiara. It's not great.
Many
Who's
people
judging?
are staring,
Oh,
but
everyone.
I think some of the people who are already sitting in here are now staring more at the dwarves than at you all. So
Nice.
Also, mostly everything's
definitely
drunk, so as long as you're nice.
a sense of that. There are, as I've said, there are 4 of them. 3 of them nearly identical, as I said, like the red beards, the long, etc. One of them a little bit different in like haircut and dress. Still has on that like leather sort of shirt, but it's been pulled over slightly different attire, more of like a longer black robe and some like metal chainmail. Like someone has put a leather armor over their metal armor, so it looks a little bit cumbersome. Also a little bit kind of quieter, I would say. Still a little bit intoxicated, but more neutral out of this group of 4.
Kiara would like to approach one of the rowdy 3.
Okay. Here we go. Control. His beard isn't red, but you know what? That's fine.
It is in our hearts.
It is in our hearts. There we go. What can I do you for?
Hello, how are you tonight? You look like you're having a good time.
Absolute blast.
Lovely. Everybody else seems so morose, and you just
Buy you a
like...
drink.
Oh, yes, please.
Drinks.
Hi, I'm Kiara. What's your name?
Osted.
Osted. Where did you come from?
Well, we have been to Dawnblast, and we've been to the Feathery Phoenix, and we've been to
Pub crawl?
Yeah, real life pub crawl?
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good to know there are a bit more pubs around.
do you...
Not a lot. There's a lot of travel in between the pubs.
And you
So
get
it's
sober
like-
on the way.
Yeah,
See,
like
that's smart. You just
2 or 3 weeks between, actually. So.
Oh. Oh, so you're
Fucking
doing more of
ultimate
that.
pub crawl.
yeah.
I know.
This isn't
you,
a pub
Alex.
crawl. This is a
Fuck
pub
you.
tour.
It's a pub door. Wait. So, are you just visiting town to get drunk?
Well, yeah, visiting, and apparently there's some kind of big market here as well.
Oh,
and
yes,
what we do is
about that.
usually buy out the inn as much of their alcohol as they'll give us, and then we just take it with us between.
That makes
Good
a
way
lot
to
of
do it.
sense. What do you do in between pubs? Just drink your road beer?
Yeah.
And how long have you been crawling?
How long? His brother, twin, triplet, says 4 months.
Wait, you've been having a 4-month-long party?
It's not really a party. We're in mourning.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, who are you mourning, if you don't mind my asking?
Our brother.
Well,
Sorry to hear that. Was
Thank
it
you.
an easy passing, at least, I hope?
It was fairly difficult. He drank himself to death. That's what. And a bear.
Oh, a bear?
When you talk, I gotta.
Well, he got very drunk, and then he wandered into the mouth of a bear.
Oh,
which is why it's really difficult, because he insisted that we celebrate his life by
doing the. And then also traveling a frozen wasteland where there's a lot of monsters that could get you while you were drunk?
Well, that's just for fun.
I mean, I will say it is very impressive. It's not great climate out there, and you're really dedicated.
Thank you. Well, it's family tradition. Usually you do travel to many of the places that the lost loved one has been to previously,
Okay.
But it's taken a lot of organization. Yes.
I can imagine.
Which is very hard to remember, yeah.
And you've taken off your actual jobs to do this?
Well, yeah.
I'm impressed. Cheers.
Cheers! And he seems pretty excited as he toasts you. The other two dwarves introduce themselves. We have Osted, and then we have Dorsted and Lorsted. So it seems like maybe it's a family name. That they're like stringing together, but it's Ostad and then Dorstad and then Lorstad. Those are the three who look more similar. The fourth dwarf, who is maybe potentially a cousin, hard to tell. And also, they're not just of dwarven ancestry. They seem to have maybe some tiefling blood or something like that. But or maybe like fire genasi. It's kind of hard to say, but they're definitely family. Yeah. The fourth dwarf eventually kind of chimes in and introduces themselves. Osted, Dorsted, and Lorsted use he/him pronouns, and then this fourth dwarf uses they/them pronouns.
Hi, what's your name? Okay.
I was just going to
Laura.
say, Bond's going to sit next to the quiet one.
Yeah.
What's her
Laura.
name? Laura.
Yes, Laura.
Lovely name. Could I ask, what's the dwarfish say on your jackets?
Oh.
I'm afraid I don't read it. I'm just curious.
It says Stad on it, but it basically means Stad morning party.
Aww.
Is that common to wear a garment when you're mourning?
Yeah.
Oh. That's
This is
Also-
a bit unusual, but it was what he would have wanted.
I think that's good. Are you the protector of the party? With the chainmail? You look strong.
A bit. I usually travel anyway. And so I was roped in a little bit, yes.
What do you usually do?
Study. Research.
Oh.
Ooh. Immediately, just like Barden, just like, oh, what kind? And pulls out their sketchbook. Her sketchbook, like, I'm a bit of a researcher too.
They pull out this orb. This is... It's kind
Has
of
a plant here.
like slightly white, but also textured a little bit, and turns it over. I study lunar cycles and plant growth. Not much grows here in the wastes, but I have a particular fascination with, well, histories, seasons, climates, changes.
And how it fluctuates with the moon. With the
Yes.
moons. Okay.
There's been an unusual lunar occurrence recently,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, I've
happened
seen
to
that.
coincide with our crawl. So
Did you get to have a look? Or was everyone a bit too much in their cups?
yes, I've gotten to look. For some, beer only sharpens their senses.
Insight?
Sure.
Or
Give
is
me an
that, is
insight
that
check.
Sorry, my brain was like, oh, like werewolves? But then I was like, oh, it could just be they're sharpened because they're drunk. that I am curious anyway.
Drunken monk.
1 second. 11.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't seem related to, like, seems kind of genuine. I think maybe it's kind of an in-joke that they're making about their siblings or brothers or cousins or whatever, saying like alcohol sharpens their senses, but maybe it's more like they pay attention to things related to alcohol. It's like a family joke that you don't really get.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I get that. I was thinking actually, because I'm remembering vaguely that this had happened at some point before this strange moon conjunction. I'm just going to be like, basically going to say that and go, actually, I've researched before and it's a bit fuzzy, but do you, if you're researching it, this has happened before, I swear. Would you happen to know more?
Many, many times, but it's a bit hard to explain, you see. It's not just that the full moon has come early, but rather that it's coincided with a certain weather occurrence that makes it particularly unique.
Which one?
Well, there's been a bit of a lull in storms. Usually storms pass over Valkyrie fairly regularly, especially as they coincide with certain lunar occurrences. But we haven't had, well, a storm that's supposed to have come, and it's about 2 months overdue now. So I'm trying to see if perhaps something related to Titan has caused that.
Just me, just going, nothing to do with Titan with me. I wonder what that could be.
Fascinating.
Like, I wonder how many things could affect an entire moon.
Plenty.
Like what? Like Barden is willing to get into this conversation, like, fully.
Moon eaters.
Moon? Like the cat?
No, it's a priesthood.
Do I know about this? Have I heard of this?
Absolutely.
New info. Okay.
Niche. Very niche.
Please, I'd love to know. Got the book out. Is writing.
I don't know a lot about them. I've been warned away from some of their temples. But they have certain rites and rituals that can affect the moons.
Okay.
Mostly only by a day or two. So I'm trying to learn if they are the source of this disturbance.
And just so I know where to avoid, where would these temples be?
I don't
think just so I don't accidentally walk too close.
I'm not supposed to know.
And who did you learn from?
You like secrets, huh?
Very much.
I'm sorry. I can't share.
Oh, shame.
But who is your friend here?
Sorry, I've taken up the entire conversation. Kiara, come in, Laura.
Sorry, allergies are murdering me. Kiara comes up, is like, oh, hello!
Already had a drink.
Yeah.
Kiara, your nose is running. The beer
I know.
Very Ferme, is very hot. Laura also introduces themselves. You eventually, over the course of conversation, learn that their deceased brother's name was Shotstad, Shotstad. Not that particularly matters. And that these three are brothers, and that Laura is a cousin who's been traveling with them. They will be in town for a few more days, and then probably continuing on, but are traveling in a similar direction that you guys are. They've been moving up the archipelago.
Laura, have you by chance been attacked by oil monsters?
Yes, actually, once or twice.
Is it because you are a magic caster? They really don't like them here.
I was born with it.
High five! What do you do?
Well, I was telling your friend here. What was your name?
Sorry, I got really excited. My name's Barton.
Barton. I was telling Barton here. I study lunar phases, seasons, climates, etc. I've always had a natural affinity for it.
Are you a mage?
Of a sort.
You said
was-
study, and
Well,
you know,
I've
I
never
assumed.
studied magic. I was born under the right. Well, I was born under the right moon for it.
Oh,
Is that something I've heard of?
Again, not sure. I'll tell
It's
you.
not like
out of-
mainland stuff.
No. I mean, when it comes to kind of like the astrology of the world, absolutely sure. Someone might say they were born under the right moon for all different kinds of
Yeah.
things. Honestly, I was born under the right
Astrology,
moon for
baby.
farming. I was born under the right moon.
People are annoying about astrology in this world. And they're right, which is the worst part.
Yeah.
yeah.
Certainly, it suggests that maybe, like, this person was conceived under a particularly powerful moon, and maybe that blessed them with some kind of magic. But I'll tell you, this is a lunar sorcerer.
Ooh. That's cool.
I think what does Kiara say? Yeah, it's so interesting. Have you faced a lot of hostility out here?
I have tempered my casting to be careful, but I would say less hostility and more fear.
Mm.
The Ichor can react in particular ways to certain kinds of arcane, but it can
Are-
react just as strangely to certain technologies and sciences. So,
Well, we have a name for it now. Ichor.
Ichor.
No one was quite willing
Ichor.
to tell us what it was, or
Yeah, they didn't
How
really tell
to-
us anything,
no.
and then they got mad at us for poking at it. Like, it seems, they could have just, you know,
how loud are you guys being?
Barton isn't.
probably not louder than the boisterous
Yeah,
three.
we're using the cover of Very Drunk Dwarves.
Okay. No worries. People don't seem to be noticing you. That makes plenty of sense. It is a very valuable resource, so there are certainly those who would want to protect it. And then Osted chimes in again and says, talking about the orbs again, we're supposed to be mourning. And then takes another long gulp of Ferme.
Shots.
Shots. Seems seems like a kind of a sad cheer that they've been doing. So they chime in with like shots. Chugging, little bit of crying.
Kiara does have one more question for Laura.
Yes.
I noticed that your armor is very strange. What is the reason for that? I asked because the Ichor ate mine.
Oh, well, you might be able to find some more at the market here. And then, like, kind of pulls up the leather armor. I have to wear this. And you see this very, like, silvery platinum chainmail.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Magic?
Probably. It's a very
Oh.
high quality, very, very well crafted.
Then
it
why the
dwarven?
leather
Dwarven
over
made?
it?
That's for the family.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Well, your armor is beautiful.
Yes. Thank you. Was made by some members of my family.
They're very talented.
We're heading back towards the forges, actually.
Which way would that be?
Oh,
Just the little map that she's been drawing. Just
kind of points to a place that seems to be fairly close to within the Gale Peaks, within the Order. The Order isn't marked. I mean, is the Order marked on your map? Oh yeah, it is because you guys are heading towards it.
I
So
would have.
points,
Yeah.
points right next to the Order. Actually, right here.
Oh.
Would it be okay if we came at some point? If we drop by, or?
Oh well, yes, I'm sure. Especially if you are, as you said, you've lost your armor.
It'd be good to get you some more. You can't lose you.
Mostly metalwork.
Can you wear metalwork? It depends how light it is, you know.
Yeah.
But dwarven make is fantastic. I'm sure we'll find something.
Oh. Are you headed back home after this?
We'll be making a few more stops on the way, but yes, we will pass back through.
Oh, excellent. So we might see you. If we... I don't know where we're going. No one tells me anything. I mean, I'm sure they do, but I don't listen very often.
We're going... just points to the map that she's probably shown you a couple of times. Like, we're going to the Lotus, remember?
Oh, then yes, actually, you will definitely see us.
Kiara makes big eyes at Barden, like, wait, are we just telling people where we're going now? That was me trying to cover up. Hello?
Oh, I totally got it.
I didn't catch that.
Barden didn't, you know what? Barden didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're just telling people where we're going. All right, Kiara was trying to be...
Kiara's
suspicious.
too good at acting dumb. That charisma's so high.
You just like, yeah, Barden just keeps like, yeah, I'd love to. So there'll be people who know about dwarven make of weapons, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
Awesome. Good to know.
Yeah. All right. You continue talking, conversation, drinking.
Oh, I will say, just flavor-wise, Barden will ask them if they'd like to hear a song from a giantess song of mourning.
Yes.
To share, and I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying.
Very, very much. And your low, slow voice fills the slick hall.
But like partway through, I just sort of go like start thudding against the table, and then just shots.
Fantastic.
At some point, low thudding on tables fill the slick hole.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Vice pulls over to Awaish and Tazriel. Are you two going out?
Yes. I do want to note that at some point in all of this, Awaish did roughly and silently and without making a great deal of eye contact make sure that Neve was good and in bed, and then left before we left.
Neve is pretty awkward, but she's also very tired. So if you like make sure that she puts some stuff in the room, there's not much besides a thank you, and then passes out on one of the beds.
Back in, baby.
Cool.
Yes.
You're also a little quiet if you want to.
I would never. I had to turn down my gain for some work on Audacity. That
I think it's more about
worst.
the directionality of it. If you just remember, just get your mouth right up on that mic, I think will be the best option for it. Because when you,
I don't know.
When I
just turned up the gain,
you,
I think that's better.
When I watch you go to the side, it cuts out more than when you're like.
I go to the side, but my mic is oriented to the side, so it's just a gain
Sound
problem.
good now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There we go. I just want to make sure we don't lose those sultry tones. Fantastic. Okay. Vice pulls up. Do you want company or?
Tazriel?
You're very welcome to join us. We are, and he'll lean in to be very quiet about this. I saw something a bit interesting on the board. It might be more along the criminal element. I don't know your feelings on that.
There are certain kinds of criminal elements in Valkyrie that I stand in opposition to. I don't know the town itself very well, but I've passed through numerous times. I'm not opposed to checking it out as long as they are not desecrating holy relics.
Seems just like a black market of sorts, so perhaps not.
Sure.
Let's go.
I could refill my pipe.
Hmm.
Okay. You
3 dudes go into a black market.
Now, you set out back into the town itself.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you are going to be going out around, settling everything in around 9 p.m. I will also say that, Matthias, at some point within this evening, you will return. So I want to make sure we also leave time for that.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Fuck yeah.
You can use... I was gonna make a joke about you using Tazriel as a homing beacon because you fucked him in order to find your way back to the party.
Interesting.
But I think more Beast just knows where to go. So anyway, we will head back outside. I think it's happening
What was
outside.
that? The wild thing is I can't hear that at all from this room. Anyway.
Okay. Now, the market has been shut down. It is late in the evening. It would be quite dark if not for the lights that are set around the town. But you see, like, it looks like more of them have been turned off. Like, they're conserving it, or maybe just because it's night. The large light that passes over from the factory, that is no longer passing over the town and illuminating things.
Mm.
So much darker. But now you can see that there are a number of similar lights that are also set onto the walls of the factory itself. There are still some guards who are out.
Tazriel, do you happen to have the information on hand that you made
Alex,
discovery of?
Alex, can we say that Taz, like,
Took the
when...
paper?
Yeah, not when Barden was looking in particular. It's starting to feel a little bit bad about not inviting her, but it's like just kind of grabbed it in anticipation of Oash asking this.
Sure.
Hands it over.
I'd just like to look it over and see if there was any hint of which way to head for this kind of place.
Not on this paper itself. Besides
Okay.
what I've described already, the description of what I've given is significant, so I'll say it again. A smiling cat with one paw lifting up a black piece of coal and one paw lowered holding something white like chalk.
Hmm.
But it will require your own investigation to determine where you can
Sure. I feel like I'd like to maybe start my investigative eyes around the factory if it's holding something black in its hand.
Okay. Now, notably, that guard is still watching this one bridge that goes into town. If you want to pass out the way you came from town and then make your way towards the factory, you can do so. It'll take you a little bit longer, maybe just like, 15 or 20 minutes instead of just going right up to the factory from the inn. It depends on if you want to pass by this guard or not.
Fancy a stroll.
Let's take a stroll.
Sure. Fine by me.
And we'll take the long way round.
Okay. Make your way out of the town, back through the woods.
You just love walking in the scenic wastes.
It's so pretty. You can see
little bit of frontier justice in this town, I see.
there's capital punishment.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's not steal anything from.
This is a multiverse asset.
Jesus Christ.
Like, damn y'all. Okay, sure.
Going
You know
dark.
what?
I mean, there is blades. In
I was
multiverse,
literally
so
about to
it
say,
makes
but it's
sense.
Blades in the Dark.
Yeah, this is blades of the dark shit for sure.
Shout out to one more multiverse. But yes, you pass by. The market stalls have been shut down for the evening as well. You don't see anyone out here, but you do come upon a tall black gate that has been set around the walls of the factory, as well as you approach, multiple of these guards, kind of just slightly similar to the one you had seen before. Again, wearing nice metal armor, sort of these navy hoods and scarves, but different things underneath. Many of them have either swords strapped to their back or kind of like two side holsters that are like strapped around the outside that are patrolling around the outside of this black metal fence.
Hmm. I would love to. I don't know. Wait. Do you want to say what you're doing first, Taz, and then I'll.
So I think Taz also agrees with like the taking a look at the factory first, like thinking about his own. Where would the black market be? Where has he found them before? Where has he engaged with criminality before? I think he's looking around. How scalable? How tall is the gate and then the wall?
In general, for your knowledge of how best to break into this, not just how tall the wall is, I want you to give me a check with your thieves tool, Tazrael.
Oh, fuck yeah. I should have taken expertise in that, but I did not. But it's fine. Oh yeah, that's fucking great. 24, Alex.
24. Okay, excellent. This is of excellent make and excellent quality. The fence itself is quite tall. You also note, specifically, one of the reasons it uses your thieves tools is because if you were to like take out a metal tool and just kind of tap it on the bars, at one point you receive a slight jolt and you like whip your hand back. It seems like this fence is protected by some kind. Now, you are not fully an arcane user, so you might assume this is magic if you didn't already know this town was not fond of magic users. So upon pointing it out or examining it closer with that number, there's likely some kind of charge or mechanical protection related to this fence. It's slightly electric, but not all the time. So it has a current that passes through it, which means that trying to scale it would be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
No, actually, yeah, that's it. He'll like relay that information, of course, and I think he'll probably muse. I'm not sure if it's just these particular parts that are electrified, or if it would also extend to the actual gate that enters in. But either way, we're not scaling this.
That's not a problem, but I would like to make certain that this is where we actually want to go. I would love to do an investigation check to see if I can see this symbol anywhere or any other indication of it being inside the factory.
I would like to give our wizard some help.
You can both make investigation checks for me. Vice is going to also keep a lookout at this point.
Awesome.
Perception check, not super great.
Oh, you do? You get a nat 20?
I got a nat 20, so that is a 20.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, that's a 28, Alex.
Amazing.
Glenn?
I got a 25.
Okay. The two of you moving?
I mean, not a 25.
Definitely.
God, 15.
Oh, 15.
Did not get as good as Taz. Yeah.
No worries. Tazrael, looking around the gate, you immediately spot a plinth of some kind that is set up next to the factory outside. And looking like from afar, you can see there's something in the mouth of the statue. Wait, I think you might also notice this plinth, but you wouldn't notice that. As you step over and approach Taz, it looks like there is a black stone within the mouth of the statue. You also have to wait probably for this guard to pass by. So again, it's pretty obvious that you guys are out at night. The guards are walking by and keeping an eye on you. You have to like make it a quick moment if you want to reach up and pull something out of the mouth of the statue. So it will require a stealth check.
Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely, Alex.
Or sleight of hand.
Rogue
Oh,
time.
let's do stealth if you're going to let me do stealth. Okay, thank God my stealth isn't bad. That is a 22.
Okay. I don't think that even Vice notices that you do this. You just sort of like walk over, maybe read off the whatever it says on it. It actually says Foreman Jax, like on it, and then founder of the refinery, and then like just kind of reach up, pluck it out very fast, put it in your pocket, step to the side behind one of the stalls. There is a small, like a piece of coal. It breaks apart in your hands, and there is a small little, like, almost like a fortune cookie size piece of paper.
Neat.
Within the piece of coal. Pull it out. It's once again in Thieves' Cant, so you have these like dots and dashes that represent it. The paper itself is slightly indented, like bumpy, so you can feel the Thieves' Cant without having to see it in the light. And Taz, you make out a message that once again signifies looking to buy, looking to sell, under the pipes.
Like these pipes here that are in the river?
There are pipes, you've seen pipes all around, not just in the river, but there are ones at the edges of the river as well, and also where the factory connects into the river.
Okay.
Do any of these pipes, like, were they open at anywhere?
Let's take a perception check from
We'll tell the others.
both of you.
Yeah, what?
Sure.
What is? Okay.
Oh, okay. That's a 23 for perception for me.
A 23. Okay. Then 13. If you would like a straight up hint, I'll take a point of inspiration. Otherwise, I'll give you a suggestive description of what you see.
Why don't you give me the suggestive description, and then if I'm really stumped, I'll hand over the inspiration.
Okay.
I'd love to figure out the puzzle if possible.
There's a visual representation of it on the map because I know that is it. There are two pipes that you noticed within the lake as you approached. Two pipes that
Yes.
stick out of the bigger lake.
The bigger lake. I'm seeing rivers, not...
You know what? I can also give you a quick little overview of what it actually looks like when Sloan gets back in a second.
Yes. Is this area... Oh, I'll wait till Sloan's in.
Yeah. Hey, Sloan. Could I get a full map view when you have a second?
Me? What? What's up?
Yeah. Could I get a full map view when you have a second? I want to show off a bit of a puzzle thingy.
Oh, map view.
Fuck yeah. Thank you. All right. Let me check. Here it is.
Map.
There we go.
Oh, hello.
Now, you guys are over here in one of the main market squares.
Yes.
Over
Oh,
here
God.
we have the factory.
Mhm.
And then connecting down from where the factory dumps off its refuge into this river, passing by the inn. And down here, this is the bridge where you entered, the
Mhm.
market square. And then down here, you have a lake
Oh, hello, lake.
and two pipes.
Man, it looks like one of them is not emitting steam.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Let's...
There we go.
I don't think we really need to, well, that guard doesn't like us. I guess we'll have to take a stroll back to take a look through all the pipes of the lake. until we notice that one is not emitting what I'm imagining is intensely hot steam.
Yes.
I think Taz is gonna try and sneak back past this guy. Actually,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
The one on the bridge.
yeah, he's a sneaky fucker. He'll get started.
Okay, and are you gonna sneak back past while Awaish and Vice travel around?
I mean, he'll ask if they'd like to try sneaking with him, but yeah, I think he'll try
Yeah.
and go a shorter way.
Now, to be clear, Tazriel, this guy is standing right there on the bridge, and it's a narrow passageway. If you want to sneak around, you might need to like scale underneath the bridge.
That's fine.
And there are guards who are walking around the factory as well. So it's timing
Mhm.
and dexterity
So
in order
what,
to do this.
what kind of checks am I making?
Fuck Taz.
First, give me a intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence check. So that's gonna be. Oh, that's not bad. 16.
Okay, that beats it. You know the timing you need for when the guards are passing around and this guy has his back turned. Now give me a dexterity check.
Okay.
It can also be, sorry, it can
Dexterity?
be acrobatics if you would like.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Mhm.
I was like, what? Is this straight Okay. Oh, thank God. 19.
All right, I'm going to use the same stealth check as before. You know the timing you need to clamber under the bridge and then kind of go around the bank behind the inn and come back into the market very rapidly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he just quick as shit. Around, passes by.
Gangly
underneath.
fast man.
There
Yes.
you go. Yes.
It's
A witch
back.
and Vice go for a lovely stroll through the forest.
Yeah.
It is now 10 p.m.
I ask her about her hopes and dreams. It's lovely.
I hope that your party learns to be careful and not disturb things in the woods. And I dream that one day you will do this without me having to remind you.
This seems target advice.
I am an excellent shot.
There you are.
So I will say this. Taz, you're going to get to the lake first. Awaish and Vice moving through the woods. Something rustles one of the trees. There's a heavy step as you pass, like, kind of around the edge of the town.
Right. I don't have time for this, frankly. So, Awaish casts fly on Vice and themselves.
You gravity reverses. And as it does so, a skeletal owlbear emerges from the woods.
Oh. Welcome back.
Matthias.
I wouldn't sneak up on them. I would
No, you don't sneak up. It's thick woods. It's not that you're sneaking up.
Oh,
it's that
okay. So it wasn't like it
like,
was
ride in it.
right next to them. It was
no,
like
no. It was
okay,
in the distance.
Awaish just
He
heard
was just
a large creature and was like, fuck no, man.
he was just being classically like 0 stealth. Everyone can hear him coming from a mile. I don't even know if he notices you because you cast fly and just like whoop go up. So you might fully go up and then just see. Do you remember that scene from Mulan where there's that big trundling creature that they like stack like a fake silhouette on top of and it looks really ridiculous and it's being piloted by Mushu? Maybe kind of like that kind of vibe.
Uh-huh.
Where it's just he's just kind of like lumbering through. You might just see him like pass underneath you. Probably end up looking for one of those.
Returned.
Yeah. Do you alert Matthias to the fact that you're flying over his head?
I'm looking at Vice for what she wants to do.
Vice makes a stealth check. Vice reaches out and scoops some snow off of the top of one of the trees.
Fucker.
Balls it up.
Vice.
Matthias does okay.
Jesus Christ.
Does a 15 hit your AC?
It does not. In fact, it does not.
Can I
Okay.
take the help action to use a mage hand and guide the snowball?
Sure. Does a 16 hit your AC?
No, fuck you.
Vice, get it together.
Okay. It doesn't hit his skin, it'll hit his armor. It still hits
All
him. There's a poof, and Matthias, something smashes on the back of your armor.
Ugh. That's a nice welcome home.
You're alive.
Yes.
Congratulations.
What are you doing?
Flying. What are you doing?
Walking.
Well, we're on a bit of a timetable, but the rest are at the Slick Hole Inn, so...
Oh, they changed the name again?
Yes.
You know, it's not the worst, but it is kind of the best.
It's pretty funny. I wonder if it's a marketing tactic.
It's working on
But-
me.
Yes, we will be back before midnight doing some kind of investigation, and I want to see how long this lasts, because I'm normally not super good with heights. I'm gonna stick to the top of the tree line.
Well, don't let me stop you and don't get arrested.
I'm glad you're back, Markart. Sooner than I expected as well, only a day.
I'll tell you about it later.
I'm sure. I'm not sure your beast will be...
No, I expect not. I'll take care of it. Go on.
All right. Okay. Aish, if you want to lead the way.
In a way, just to note, they will be back strictly at 10:15. If this takes longer than 15 more minutes, they're going home. And they fly over.
Okay. You fly over. Now, Taz, you get to the lake beforehand. You can immediately note that there is, kind of similar to the piece of paper, one pipe that just kind of like opens in the middle of the lake itself. There's nothing coming out of it, no steam or anything like that. And then another pipe with not like the thick black smoke, but a sort of like whiter billowing smoke and steam that's coming out of it.
Not that fun.
I think Taz like is reminded of the chalk of the white and the black. Yep. Yeah, and is gonna wait for the others to come as well, and then sees like y'all get there quicker.
Hover over the lake. It's now dark. The lights switch off at 10. There are still like torches and some lanterns and things, but the electric lights all around the town have gone off.
So you said that there's one that is emitting the black steam, and then one that's emitting white.
One that's emitting,
sorry.
One that's not doing anything. One emitting white steam.
That's it. I look at Vice and I say, "Do you think you can handle that one?" And point to Tazrael in terms of you can just pick him up and plop him over there, right?
You want to? That is a very big orc.
I can swim.
It's very cold.
Let's see if you have to, and we can check it out first. But I promise we won't go anywhere without you, Furry Emery.
We fly over.
You fly kind of directly over the pipe, and looking down, you can see there is a light at the bottom of it.
I investigate closer.
It's a big pipe. It's like 5 feet, like around is a thick transporting pipe. Kind of like hovering down. You think you could hover lower and get into it. And then looking down at the bottom, you see like someone walks underneath it. It looks like there's some kind of space under the lake.
All right, well, we definitely found it, but we will probably have to find a new entry point for you.
Actually, hold on. What does this man have?
He could swim over to it and climb into it.
Yeah, he's just gonna You know
I
what,
guess the
Alex?
water isn't super cold because of all the pollution.
It's warm, yeah.
Yeah, he just dives into it and just swims.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to leave you three there for this, since we only have a few minutes left before we wrap, if that's okay. Unless, oh wait, sure, you wanted to get back. You said that specifically.
Yes,
I'm gonna
because I
leave-
want Barden to be able to ask their question.
Yes, okay, then I think we'll end with that, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Whatever happens, there happens. Cut to Oasis back. I don't know how they look.
No worries. I will say, you said 10:15. Tazriel and Vice can check this spot out, see if they want to actually directly go in or leave it for another night, something like that. But if you say your goodbye and go back to the slick hole with Matthias arriving, that's fine.
Awesome.
Cool. Excellent. I appreciate the check-in because I also want to have that question. Matthias, you leave Beast to do beastly things?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave him to do some beastly activities. I do dismount, and I look to him and I say, I'm not really sure exactly what to do here. I feel connected to you, so I know that I'll be able to call you back. But just... I don't know if you can understand me, but try not to do any property damage or kill anything that can talk. Or communicate in any method, really.
It just pads off as you're speaking into the woods.
Okay.
Explaining sentience to
Perfect,
your
good.
necromantic beast.
Listen, fine steeds don't need to eat, so there's that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
Looking at that fucked up thing, you wouldn't guess it.
I mean, it doesn't have a stomach, dude.
It's
Doesn't have
true.
a beak.
It's got a beak.
It was
wake up
recently
tomorrow morning
debeaked,
to
in
find a
fact, actually.
squaw.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
think Awaish has the beak.
Wait, does have a beak.
That creature has been... Yep.
Yeah, I drew it without the beak. It looks fucked up.
You did?
Oh, it's in the chat. I
haven't
did
seen
sketches.
But I
Yeah.
do
yeah.
go back and I leave Beast outside.
Okay, excellent. Matthias, you make your way into the tavern that is familiar to you. I'll say this. Kiara, do you think you would still be hanging out with the dwarves while Barden goes to talk to Awaish, or would you have gone to bed?
No, Kiara would probably just hang out and chill with them.
Cool.
Not as rowdy as them, just, like sitting at the bar.
I'm
Okay.
concerned about timing on this because I want to cover the Oation Barden stuff. So maybe he can
Yeah.
walk in
And then,
next episode
Yeah.
cool. Sounds good.
and reunite with Kiara.
I will say, Matthias, as you approach the inn, there's a familiar face through one of the windows. There are two familiar faces through one of the windows, actually.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very
And I will leave
interesting.
that there. We'll leave that there. But, Barden, you can go to the room that Awaish and Neve had, if you would like. Yes.
I'll say actually, Barden doesn't have to seek Awaish out. The minute that they get back, they plant themselves in the main area and start working on something. They've taken off a piece of their jewelry and seem to be chipping away at it as they reference something that they've sketched inside Darren. So they are there and available.
I think probably Barden's been listening out for the door. Just like every time someone comes in, just like on the stool, just leaning right over, like trying to look around the corner, go, nah. Anyway, but yeah, heads up, heads over. Sorry, the music just came in.
I know. I turned it off. There we go.
No, it's funny. Was it fun? Was it all right out there? Anything
Is that
interesting?
your question? It's a poor one.
No. Definitely not. Sits down. My question, 10 minutes. My question is, only if you're okay with answering, how did Darren come to be? He's amazing. I've never seen anything like him. Only if it's okay to ask.
You said as much before.
Wasn't wrong.
I don't know if my answer is much of anything interesting, but usually when I keep Darren secret, it is more the fact that he exists and less how he came to existence, so no, I don't mind answering the question. When I was younger, I had a spell book. It was not anything particularly significant, just something that had been given to me as a consequence of my scholarship to the school I attended. At a certain point in my life, it was not enough. And I required something a bit more. So I spent about 8 years using what I had to create what I have. It isn't especially complicated. It is the sum of everything that is on me mixed with many components and languages. There's an especially expensive piece of jewelry that makes up his eye. Is that a satisfactory answer?
I'd say so. You don't have to answer this one, but it'd be good to keep in mind for future. Is he still being worked on? If I found something interesting, could that help him be more magnificent?
He enjoys upgrades.
Okay. Would that be something you'd be okay with?
Let me be clear on something, Barton. Although I was the one who woke Darren up, I am not necessarily the one who controls what he does. I think that question would be better directed towards him.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, Wage looks down at the open tome.
It folds shut and the eye rolls open on it. I would be interested to hear what kind of upgrades you're talking about.
I mean, depending on what we find. Would you accept the gift?
If it was offered nicely.
I do try.
I have
like
a question back, if you don't mind.
Ooh, is this another tit for tat? You know
Not
what?
quite.
You'll have it for free.
I just want to know your interest in asking that question.
There aren't that many entirely unique things in the world. I find them fascinating. I'm interested. And obviously, Darren kind of leans a lot to you, to how you are. It's important to us as a team. So, all of those answers are a little bit mixed up.
Many have wanted the types of things that I have. Not just this. And I want to specifically warn you that although the method by which Darren was created is the most mundane, I believe, I don't think it can be replicated.
Like I said, unique. And
Desperate. Emotion is its own magic.
I like that. I mean, obviously not the nicest thing to come from, but he's amazing all the same. And, I mean, I've got enough going on. I've got a talking sword, I've got a body I don't understand. I've got enough to be thinking about. But, just in case you're worried.
Not worried. I just hate to see any mage go down a path they can't follow.
Mage. Sounds like something fun. Anyway. You okay there? Do you need help with that? Or are you good? I might... Or actually, could I just sit and I could read? Wouldn't bother you?
Fine.
Big smile. Bon pulls out a book and Folkley's letter, which she hasn't read yet, but, you know, she can do that another time. And just happily sat with a wish.
Actually, I think that's a nice ending point. Since it's a really short letter, I can read it out and then we can be done. Okay. Let me find
So
it.
this rock music was just felt really cool talking over the top of, like, ooh,
Nice to think that
some
you think
cool
my
lines.
magic is so fucking metal.
Yeah. You
Uh,
know, this magic is too much for most.
It was a cool song. I wasn't sure.
It was great.
But yes. You pull out Folkley's letter and unfold it. The one that she handed off to you as you left the Guild Star. Barden, it was very nice to meet you and spend some time together. You seem like someone who will be traveling frequently. I travel quite a lot as well between different ships, but I've been with the Guild Star for a while now. She makes her home berth in Port Oostenwald. If you visit, you might find me there at the Low Crest docks. During the colder season, I sometimes travel up the Albaran coast, trading between some of the small towns there. My home is not far from the city of Two Gorges. Leave a message at the sounding bell, and I'm sure it'll make its way to me. I would enjoy more company and time to share stories. Travel safely in Valkyrie. Deep waters hold more fish than clear shoals. Folkley.
Writes down those little places in the book just in case, folds it, puts it into the storybook next to the story of the Abjurian princess.
And then, Matthias, you step into the inn and our session ends.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I love you guys so much. So you can find previous episodes of Strange Hungers as well as other content from Total Party Kiss on our YouTube at Total Party Kiss, as well as find updates about when our shows go live on Twitter and Instagram, also at Total Party Kiss. Big thank you to One More Multiverse, which we use to make all these cool maps and sounds and things like that. And of course to Soundtail, which also brings us a ton of epic music. So big shout out and credit there as well. You can find all of our socials in the chat as well for our cast. Let me make sure that I have that there. I'm not sure if we're gonna have an episode next week. So we will keep that in mind. I think we should, but we will let you guys know again on Twitter. Anyone else have any other quick announcements or things that they want to shout out?
If you like games, you should take a look at the tabletop news Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Because its whole purpose is to boost like news in tabletop, and that means that it's not just like companies, it's like us and other like creators, whether they be small, medium, or large. And like literally they're talking about having segments where they do like important news from APs, just like across the spectrum of APs. So check that out and support it if you're interested in stuff like that. I am, so give them a look. They're really cool. And then also you can find the Vineyard Project on Kickstarter. Gay content by gay people for gay people and also friends of gay people. It's honestly really, really cool. They have a 30-page adventure lit that you can look through, and it's got some really fucking neat content in there. Highly recommend giving it a look. It's fucking free. It's 30 pages of free adventure. So there's also, really no reason not to go look at it.
VJ and I also write on it. So
yeah. So highly recommend checking it out. Even if you just want to like have a little free adventure. It's fucking rad. The characters are awesome. Please go look. That's all.
I was gonna say on Monday I will be on Bad House RPG for the second part of an All the Witches game run by the original creator of the game. It's fun. We're playing out the system, which is also doing really well on Kickstarter and is once again very queer, very witchy.
Hell yeah! All the witches.
Hell
are so
yeah!
Cool. All right, great.
Wait, I remembered something.
Yeah.
Hi y'all. I run professional games over on Start Playing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at various points during the day, mornings, afternoons, and nights. Please go check it out if you'd like to play a game.
Where can we find your info on that? Is that on your Twitter?
Yeah, you can find that info on my Twitter, or you can just go to startplaying.game/GM/VJH Creations.
Excellent. Definitely check it out. VJ is an amazing player and amazing GM and has lots of awesome, cool rule stuff that he designed. So very neat. Great. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think Starlight Tales is live if we want to go say hi to them.
Yeah, sure. I have temporarily lost my cursor, so we'll see if we can make it there. Yeah. But stay tuned to see if there's a raid, and otherwise it'll just end.
Cool.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.